welcome back to another episode of Podcast Demastered, a place where we celebrate our love for all things nerdy. I'm Wade.
And I'm Chelsea.
On today's episode, we will be demastering Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
Yes.
Oh yes, we are continuing
love-hate game.
the ultimate love-hate game. Oh my god. It's always such a lovely time playing Chain of Memories.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be fair, we played the remake. We played Chain of Memories, which was originally on the PS2 and then got ported to the 3 and the 4 and the 5. I guess.
Yes.
Technically. So that's what we played. We did talk about playing the original, but those memories belong back in 2004, or they will stay.
Yes. And it was so exciting when they announced Chain of Memories because it wasn't on the same system as the first game. And
oh my goodness.
That was wild, but it was also cool to be like, I have a portable version of a game.
This is true. Yeah, having Kingdom Hearts on a portable system was amazing. And folks, if you didn't know, the original Chain of Memories came out in 2004 on the Game Boy Advance, of all things. But the fact that you had a PS2 game and then the question mark sequel was coming out on the Game Boy Advance, that was weird. But it does create a trend for the Kingdom Hearts team who absolutely adored learning, like, how other consoles worked, like how to develop for other consoles, because they felt that increased their, like, foundational intelligence for, like, moving forward, which, I mean, I can't argue. But it did create a trend of us getting Kingdom Hearts games on, like, literally every system all the time that were not, like, remakes of each other. Completely new games that, you know, Nomura was always like, hey, it's just a side game, don't worry about it.
Wrong.
Except now we know that
yes.
There's no such thing as a side game in Kingdom Hearts. The plots and the lores of every single Kingdom Hearts game absolutely connect together and are continued through to the next game.
Yes.
And Chain of Memories was a big one for this, like huge. It's foundational for the rest of the series. Like characters and terms and, I mean, events that take place in Chain of Memories are in every single game moving forward. Which is just like, okay.
It's crazy. It's also interesting, yes, because this game is not Kingdom Hearts 2, but we promise this is the direct sequel to the first game. It immediately picks up.
This is Kingdom Hearts Game 2. 1.5, if you will.
Oh no, we don't need to joke that.
Oh no, I think we need to apply a number title to every single game.
Yes. But before we start diving into all the different mechanics and whatnot with the game, we could probably do another overview like we did with the first game.
Yeah, so in our first episode, Chelsea and I worked to create a story overview that explains everything you need to know that happens in the first game, because Kingdom Hearts is often criticized with having the most confusing plot ever.
Yes.
Now, maybe that started with this game, because Chelsea and I were joking about this before we started recording, but this game is basically all gaslighting. I mean, like, 95% of this game is gaslighting and, like, lying. The villains are just flat out lying about what's happening. So even after you're done, you're like, so what's important? What mattered? So we're gonna tell you.
Yes.
We ready, Chelsea?
Yes.
Okay, so here it is. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Following the end of Kingdom Hearts, we find Sora, Donald, and Goofy continuing their search for Riku and King Mickey. Chain of Memories begins as a mysterious hooded figure invites them to Castle Oblivion, where they become locked in. The hooded figure beckons them to continue through the castle, using Sora's memories stored in cards, stating, "To find is to lose, and to lose is to find," spurring the party to push on. They find that as they continue, their memories become scattered and lost. Sora meets the members of the organization, Axel, Larxene, Vexen, and their leader, Marluxia. As they push Sora through the castle, he revisits the worlds we visited in Kingdom Hearts with a slightly altered, memory-focused storyline. As Sora continues on, he begins to remember a fourth friend from Destiny Island, another girl who was quiet and would draw as they played. We bump into Riku along the way as well, who seems to have reverted to his dark state, and challenges Sora that he will be the one to save and protect their missing friend. The story comes to a head as Sora learns that he and Riku apparently share the same memory, realizing something can't be correct. Through interactions with the organization members, he comes to find out that his journey through the castle has been a ruse, gaslighting, and that they have in fact been using this mysterious friend, Naminé, to control and rewrite Sora and his friends' memories with her witch-like powers. Also, they could control Sora and the power of the Keyblade to destroy the other half of the organization and take over. Sora ascends the 13th floor of the castle, putting a stop to the organization members present, rescuing Riku, who turns out to be a replica created by the organization, as well as Naminé, and stopping their treasonous plot. In order to fix Sora, Donald, and Goofy's memories correctly, Naminé must put Sora to sleep, relinking Sora's chain of memories and restoring him to who he was. Elsewhere in the castle, so story times 2 here. Elsewhere in the castle, Riku arrives beckoned by a mysterious voice and a card. Riku works his way through the basement levels of the castle, fighting his inner darkness along with other organization members, Lexaeus, Vexen, and Zexion. They plan to use Riku to nullify Marluxia's plot to dethrone the organization's superior. Riku travels through the same worlds as Sora did, fighting bosses, organization members, and the replica of himself, who strives for independence and a power that is unique to him. Through his journey, Riku is in communication with King Mickey, who fights to reach Riku at the castle. Riku realizes his relationship with darkness is something that should be nurtured and not feared, along with a balance of the light. As Riku conquers Ansem, his inner darkness, he receives a request to assist the mysterious Diz, who turns out to be the voice who led Riku to Castle Oblivion. Riku and Mickey accept, and together they leave Castle Oblivion as Riku vows to protect Sora while he sleeps and regains his memories. And there we go.
Like, overall, it's a very simple story about Sora being manipulated and losing his memories, and then also Riku going on a journey. But there's definitely, like we said, that this game is really the introduction to so many characters that become important throughout all the games.
Core locations, concept, like Castle Oblivion, this is not the last time you'll see Castle Oblivion. Naminé, Diz, the organization, the replica.
Yes.
So many people will continue on from this. However, Sora will not remember what has happened in the castle. In order to get his memories back, Naminé has to basically erase the contents of this game, which is something that happens a lot to Sora. So we'll have to see how he's doing when he wakes up in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yes, and this game is cool too, like we said, because, you know, like the first game, we played as Sora, and we play as Sora as this game, and then it literally is, you get through the credits, and then the title screen changes and says, like, Reverse Rebirth, and you get the option to play as Riku's story. Cool. Yes.
Reverse Rebirth. Oh my god, shut up, Nomura.
Never.
Nomura had this weird, like, you know, because he came to, like, power. He legit came to power at Square Enix in, like, the early 2000s, where he has, like, kind of remained in a way, except all his projects are now taking, like, 25 years to complete, so, like, the younger people don't know who he is, because he's always trapped in the basement at Square. Either drawing or writing, either or. But yeah, he had this huge, like, zeitgeist effect on everything, like in anime and video games, where everything was like edgy and cool, and the names he came up for stuff, and the amount this man proved that you can be a teenager and have 75 belts and or zippers on your person at any given time, and a hood.
Always. That's something too we did not talk about when we talked about the first game. If you really pay attention to all these characters' like clothing, it is so bizarre. The amount of straps, like you said, belts, chains, everything. It is just really goofy looking, but cool.
But also, like, it's crazy because if you go look at pictures from like certain fashion trends, like different age groups in either America or Japan in the early 2000s, you'll see what kind of effect that had on adolescents.
Totally true.
And I'm telling on myself too. I just, like, Roxas we'll talk about Roxas in Kingdom Hearts 2. But, like, I had a Roxas necklace. I had his, like, armbands. And then, like, his black and white rings. God, I cannot tell you how cool I thought I was.
I mean, yeah, it was totally a trend to follow. Kingdom Hearts was cool and crazy.
Yeah. So edgy. Like,
oh my gosh.
Reverse Rebirth. Like, okay.
Yes. No, that's when it gets so edgy and so fun. And in our overview, we didn't get to talk about my favorite line, the ending of the Reverse.
Oh my gosh.
Reverse section with Riku. Oh my gosh. Because throughout this time we said, like, he's battling his inner darkness, and Diz at the end is like, you must follow basically a path. Are you going to choose the path to light or the path to darkness? And he's like, no, I choose
the one in the middle. And Diz is like, oh, like the dusk path to nightfall or something like that.
Yeah.
And freaking like, no. Riku walks past him and looks over his shoulder. No, the road to dawn.
Yes.
Freaking Riku.
And then Utada plays, so
and then Simple and Clean hits. And it's like, yes. Oh, that was so cool. Which it was, but we can laugh at totally ourselves. Cool. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But another thing that's really unique about this game, which we alluded to earlier when we started this episode about having a love-hate relationship with this game, is that the gameplay is very different from every other Kingdom Hearts game. It is not how the first Kingdom Hearts game was. You don't battle the usual way. Yes, you use cards. Cards are your weapons, your magic, your everything.
It's an action battle system akin to Kingdom Hearts 1, where you're running, you're jumping, you're dodging, you're yada yada. But your attacks are in the form of cards. So when you hit A to attack, or hit X in the PlayStation's case, not the Game Boy Advance, good lord, you use a card, and that card is your attack. If it's a swing of the Keyblade, if it's a spell or a summon or whatever, and that card has a number on it. One, it dictates the strength of the attack, but also if your opponent is attacking and you use your card over them, like those two cards kind of like collide, and the bigger number will win out. You can cancel out your opponent's attack, or they will just absolutely block yours.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that it's still an action game. You're still running around and jumping and dodging, and so it takes some time to get used to. You want to just like smash X like you do in Kingdom Hearts. You can't do that. You'll run out of cards in your deck. It'll be a problem. But one of the cool things is that you can form what's called a slate, where you can like take a card and store it. You can store up to 3 cards. And depending on the combination of the 3 cards, those 3 cards will turn into a special attack. Like, for instance, you have a fire card. If you use 2 fire cards, that fire will turn into Fyra. And then you have 3, it'll turn into Firaga. Like, that's pretty basic, right? Like, we know our Final Fantasy by now. But, like, mess with magic and then attack cards of, like, varying numbers and types and stuff. And they turn into, like, actual attack techniques for Sora and Riku. But his is a little different.
Yeah. I think this time I spent way more time actually developing a deck, actually trying to purchase cards and everything.
Yeah.
It seemed very much needed while playing Sora. Now, I have never played Chain of Memories except for before this episode. I've only ever played the Game Boy version. And that one, I thought it fit kind of on a Game Boy Advance to have that, slightly different gameplay and stuff. And I was just excited for
it's quite good for a Game Boy Advance game. It is like crisp and on par with like high level stuff. It's a really good game. Like in the Game Boy, like you're looking at the screen and the screen is like kind of top down in a way, right? Like you can see the whole battlefield. So you're just kind of running Sora left, right, up, down in like a 2D fashion.
Yes.
But when they remade Chain of Memories for the PS2, they made it like Kingdom Hearts 1, where like you're a full 3D battleground with a turning camera and everything that comes with it. And I remember playing Chain of Memories for the first time, and like, oh my gosh, it was so difficult to get used to like this full 3D combat instead of like the 2D top down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it makes it a lot more, like, you have to focus on way more things, because like we said, you have to have your cards, you have to have your deck planned, you have to know what kind of slates you're going to use, while also, yes, working in that 3-dimensional space, dodging, jumping, and it does make it very chaotic, and it's wild. And I always, because yeah, with building a deck too, I kept going back and forth on what was going to work and what wasn't going to work. Because you can have like 3 different decks you can build separately. So you can switch between them if you want. And I ended up doing that towards like as I was getting closer to the end, because I would have one deck that was easier to fight through the different rooms, and then one for boss battles.
Yeah, like a heartless deck, and then like a solo deck for for whatever boss. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something that's different about this game too. It's not just the card system, but because you're using these cards that hold the memories, it's a different gameplay element. You're not just going to these loosely open world areas. You're unlocking different rooms that represent the worlds, and you can choose based on what cards you have if you want it to be like a room filled with Heartless, or a save point, or extra boost.
Like a treasure room.
Yes, treasure room. So
but like each world has like a map, like an empty room map, and then you have to fill in the contents of each room with a card, with like an enemy card and stuff like that. And that's like where 85% of the gameplay comes in, and it's no matter what world you're in, it's the same. Like the worlds they're structured the same. Just with whatever flavor of world you're in. Does it look like Atlantica or Agrabah or whatever?
Yeah.
So after a while, like, you're doing this thing and it just becomes so like, oh my lord, it's just monotonous, you know?
Yes, it is. And it was one thing too where I wasn't trying to grind in the game, but I was kind of my thing that each room I went in, I had to defeat.
You had to clear
every single heart. Yes.
No, I was the same way with Sora. Mostly because like when you level up, the level up system is a little different than some games. You get to choose like a stat kind of to power up. For Sora, you can either increase his HP, you can increase his CP, which is like his deck points. Like how many cards you can put in your deck. Or sometimes, depending on like the actual level you turn, you can unlock a new slate, a new technique to learn. Which is like where I went all the time. Like, if there's a new technique, I'm learning that technique. And otherwise, I was throwing my points into my deck points.
I put a ton in my deck.
Did a few HPs, because I was like, maybe I shouldn't have 100 HP. Maybe I should bump that up a smidge, like halfway through the game. Because I was pretty aggressive. I was like, no, I have tailored my deck, basically, to just like spam triangle to build slates and just like destroy everything as fast as I can. That was really how I played the game.
Yeah.
Which is a popular way to play the game. Maybe not the best, but it worked.
No, and I think that's what kind of makes it a little bit different from other Kingdom Hearts games too, because you really can customize what your specific game style is going to be. And I know because I looked up online before, because I was curious like what the popular thing was to do for people, because like I said, I played this game when it originally came out. I do not remember that well. I mean, I beat the game, so I was at least yay to myself about that. But then now I'm like, oh gosh, I have to come up with a plan. And it took me a while, though, to really figure out what slates I wanted, because I didn't put a lot of my leveling up to those. And then I got to the point where I'm like, oh, no, I need to unlock some of the better ones. But I was all about, getting I thought whatever the best cards were, the highest cards and everything from all the Moogle shops and any chance I could. So what were your slates you used then? So you said you used a lot of slates in your deck.
So my deck, I built my deck, so the first 3 or 4 slates I would use were all Sonic Blades. So I could just go boom, boom, boom. I could just wipe a whole bunch of people out. But then, of course, as you go, you get people who are flying, which Sonic Blade does not hit. So after my 3 or 4 Sonic Blades, depending on where I was in the game, I just used Blitz.
Okay.
So just 3 hit, boom, boom, boom on a single enemy. So Blitz would typically clear out the rest of anything that was remaining. But then after that, I did have, probably a good 12 fires to spam Firaga, which the bad thing about Firaga is that it's single target. but it homes.
Yes.
But it
So
homes.
helps for anywhere.
So,
you're flying
yeah.
enemies, you're on the ground.
And then after that was kind of like, I had like a handful of some cures on the off chance I needed them. And then like some like high potions, some pretty good item cards to get back all of the things that I had lost doing on my slates. And then rinse and repeat. That worked for, let's say, 85% of the game and the bosses. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's something too, is that we talked about, like, yeah, you can have a set amount of cards in your deck, but there's certain things that you do that can affect whether cards reload or not. So that's why you really have to think through. Because if you use cards in a slate, that first card from your slate is gone from your deck.
Gone. It can't be, like, reloaded with the rest of your deck when your deck is gone.
No. And like there's certain other cards you can add to your deck that will help with reloading certain cards. And those cards that help with reloading are a lot faster than when you sometimes have to manually reload it yourself, specifically when you play as Sora, because the more times you reload your deck, the longer
it takes to reload your deck. Yeah.
Yeah. But I had a lot of Sonic Blade in my deck that I used. That was the main one I used for a lot of just like getting through the rooms, because by the time I was done, if I got those flying enemies, I had a lot of 9s in my deck, so those are very easy just to take out.
Oh yeah, just regular attack and just beat them down.
Yes. But Sonic Blade is so satisfying to watch, though. It is crazy gameplay.
Triangle, 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 triangle.
Bam, bam, flying across the battle area. Oh my gosh. But then towards the end, I saw stuff about Lethal Frame being like the ultimate slate.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun near the end because I destroyed those bosses.
Doesn't that basically just wipe out? Like if it's just an enemy, it just kills them, right?
I mean, it does, but sometimes, like, especially in boss battles, it's a little difficult because it takes a couple seconds for it to work, and then it completely freezes the enemy, and that's when you go at them and attack them. Yeah, it really can. Yeah, for most of your average enemies, it takes them down like one hit.
When I went to like build a deck to fight Marluxia at the end, I Googled, I was like, what? Because I had fought regular Marluxia, but I remembered, like, well, like the next Marluxia is like up in the air. I can't use Sonic Blade on him. So I was Googling, okay, well, like, what's a good slate for Marluxia? And like, for the last 2 fights, use Lethal Frame. I was like, oh, I have Lethal Frame. So I went to go look at the recipe. And the recipe needed Stop Magic, which apparently I did not use or have, maybe I didn't have it, have a treasure card when I was in Wonderland. So I did not get my initial Stop Magic, so I did not get any at all. I didn't have any Stop Magics. And I was really like, I'm going to go all the way back to Wonderland just to unlock the stupid treasure room. But I had been through the entirety of Castle Oblivion, and I did not want to, like, waste all of that time creating all of those rooms just to, like, because then I'd have to farm, right, to, like, buy more packs of cards to get maybe more Stop Magic. And I was like, you know what? I'm a big boy. I'll figure it out. And I did, but man, I bet having Lethal Frame would have been nice.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Although at one point, because the hardest fight for Sora for me, that was like one of the boss fights, was actually probably Axel. I think I actually died more times fighting Axel. I didn't die fighting Marluxia at all. And
you went Marluxia and just won?
Yeah.
Nice.
But I think it was like the one of the like the in-between battle. I was only down to 2 cards that I had to hit him. Well, I had used all of my cards.
That fight sucks because like he's up in the air, and he doesn't use slates, which is great. That really helps. But you have like side ads, kind of like enemies you have to kill before you can hit him, and he like moves around so much, so you have to hit him at like certain times so he stays still. Like, I learned that the hard way, too. But yeah, that fight's not hard. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
It's just annoying. And then there's the final Marluxia. I forgot about that fight.
I guess I ended that fight so fast. I don't know.
You might have. If you're, like, spamming Lethal Frame in Sonic Blade, you can get through it really quick. But if you're not, one, he uses slates like absolute crazy. And they're, like, immediate slates. They're like, gone, gone. And he has one... He summons like a tornado kind of thing, and if that wind hits you, it like doesn't do anything to you. You can like run through it, but it takes your cards and flings them over the battlefield, and you have to go and collect them all while he's shooting. He also shoots Doom at you, which it kind of sets Sora up to do like a duel with Riku. And if you don't beat the duel, you get one hit shot. But the problem is that like, if he's just used the tornado on you and you don't have but like 3 cards, you can reload in the middle, but like you've probably already reloaded. Yeah. It's hard. But you can dodge it. You can just dodge it's like, you know, Xemnas' stupid like black and white lightning that he does in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. So you can dodge it fairly easily. But if you're like running around trying to get your cards and you miss him like using the slate, you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
So we had to play some games. We had to get into it to beat him.
And then that's the part where, like, really building your deck and figuring out, like, what you're going to do. I thought that part was actually really fun this time around. At least it's something that, like I said, I spent a lot of time doing.
It's something you can actually, like, focus on instead of...
Yeah.
XXXXXX.
Yeah. So then by the time you're done with Sora's story, for me, I was like, all right, I have conquered Sora's story. I am in a great place. I love the deck I've created. And then I'm like, okay, well, I get to play as Riku, which, by the way, Riku is probably like one of my favorite characters in Kingdom Hearts. And JK, everything you thought you were doing before with Sora stuff, nope. You get a pre-selected deck for every single battle you're
yeah. Like every world or boss fight has like its own pre-selected deck. You can't do anything. They said, don't even open this menu. Get out of here.
Yeah.
It's pre-made for like the enemies in that area, which is okay because it's like way less like mental work you have to do. They're just saying, just get through the game. It's fine. We'll take care of this part. But sometimes, like in Wonderland, oh my God, when literally your deck is like, you could have a 9 followed by a 1.
Yes.
All the time. So people are constantly like breaking your cards and stopping you from doing anything. Oh my gosh, annoying.
Yeah, that made some of those floors really hard to get through with like those worlds because just fighting those enemies with so many 1s and whatnot in your deck, it was just annoying. And actually, I think it's annoying to fight with 0s when you're just fighting regular Heartless. Like 0s are amazing for when you're fighting the bosses, but not your regular battles.
Like, sure, you cancel out the 0. You cancel out their card with your 0. There's another Heartless immediately to knock out your 0. So you're still going to get hit.
Yeah. And like, yeah, there's definitely parts where you could just like mash through it. But then also it was just every single time you got that new deck, it was a whole new learning experience about like, okay, what cards do I have to work with? Make sure I don't use these. And the whole thing with Riku too is that it's different. He doesn't have all these slates. And the only way you can use a couple slates are when you activate his like dark mode. And that's a different thing. He has a slightly different leveling system compared to when you level up Sora's character. Yeah, because since, you know, you're not putting those points into creating your deck, you're putting those points into basically how hard your attacks are, into your health, and then also into like your dark mode.
Which, you know, like, again, they're very much just like, here's the game, just go play the game.
Yeah.
Like, don't micromanage your stats, you just play, you're fine. But like when they take away everything from you except for fighting Heartless, because Riku's story technically is just as long as Sora's, because you play through every world that Sora plays through and fight every boss.
Yes.
So it's like, oh my God. But when all you're doing is creating Heartless Room after Heartless Room after Heartless Room, and then having a tiny little cutscene between the worlds, and then like on to the next one, that is what gets so monotonous. And I think in the last like 3 worlds, for Riku, I really started to skip, like, the Heartless. I would create whatever room that I could create, and I would just run straight to that next door. Like, get me out of here.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, I started picking the rooms with the Heartless, the mushroom ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those were way easier to get through and only had a couple enemies if I chose to fight them.
Yeah, I forgot that they put those mushrooms into Recom. And when I was going through with Sora, I was like, okay, well, I know how the white ones work because I'm old. But then I realized there's not, or at least I didn't like look up to find out if I was wrong, but there didn't really seem to be a point in really doing those mushroom worlds because they didn't give you like better experience or anything like that.
No, they were just more chill enemies, I felt like.
They were just more chill. Yeah. So I used them sometimes, like when I got impatient with Sora, I would do that and then get out. But with Riku, I think I used the black ones like once. And again, that was because like, oh, I know this room is pretty small, so I can just run through it real fast.
Yeah. No, I used quite a few of those, and then I honestly used like the rooms with the save point near the end because I was like, it just has a save point. I can just move on past. I'm done with that, and I have plenty of those cards.
Yeah.
But
we got there.
Yes,
we got there in the end.
We both celebrated when we beat it.
Oh my gosh, yes, we did. We were texting each other, like checking progresses, and
oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, it was, and like our progress was quite erratic. I think I was like, you started first.
Yes.
And I didn't start until like way later, but then like you stopped playing, so I ended up getting ahead of you, and I was like, what? Right. And then we kind of kept doing that for a while, and then I was like, oh, I started Riku's story, and you're like, oh, I started Riku's story like a week ago, and I'm like, oh my god, so you did beat me. You beat me on this one, but I think we were both ready to be done.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know, and we say that the gameplay kind of wore us out. I think we can agree on that. But the story of Chain of Memories is absolutely like where the heart and soul of the game is.
Yes.
The great thing about like the remakes, like the ports, is that they give you theater modes for everything. So now we've beaten Chain of Memories, and if we ever want to watch the story, we can just go watch the story.
Yes.
I like when they released the remake, I was so happy because, you know, all of like the vast majority anyway of these organization members are not in future games. We kill them. They're dead. They're gone. And it was so nice to get to like see these characters like be real and like fully 3D and like talk and act and stuff because they didn't have voice actors in Chain of Memories.
No.
So there wasn't any voice acting in Chain of Memories apart from some like battle grunts and stuff that they just pulled out of one for like Sora, Riku, Donald, and Goofy. It's just very basic. So if you really like Sora's like battle sounds, freeze, fire, they put all of that in Chain of Memories 1, like the original. But man, like having some of these characters with voices, oh my gosh, like Vexen. His voice fits so good. He's that creepy, kind of like laid-back scientist guy. Larxene, just an absolute bitch. Literally a heartless jerk. And her voice actress does her such good, like, ugh.
Yeah, but we could probably talk about some of our voice actors. There's any to highlight besides the ones that, you know, we mentioned previously that were
well,
first
I
one.
mean, like I remember like Axel's Quentin Flynn has played Axel since Kingdom Hearts 2, and Axel's been in a lot of games, but he's not just a video game voice actor. Like, go look him up. He's been in so much. He's a classic. But getting to hear Axel in these like earlier roles is just so fun. Like he has so many like iconic quotes and stuff. Now the got it memorized thing gets so old sometimes.
Yes.
Fast. Oh
but
my god.
We have to mention it. Yes.
Got it memorized.
Yeah.
My favorite is 2. But that's a different game. We can't talk about that.
Oh man. My god, yeah. Oh gosh. But I thought it was funny about, because it's always interesting, you know, I think we've talked about, you know, because Disney was obviously involved. There's Disney characters and stuff, and like certain Disney people that they put into these games, because Naminé is voiced by Megan Martin, who I don't know if many people know who that is, but the one thing that she's super famous for is Camp Rock, the DCOM, and she's too cool for you.
Is she the original Naminé?
Yes. I'm pretty sure it's the original, or at least the one that's in Chain of Memories.
So Naminé's original voice, which she didn't have a voice until Kingdom Hearts 2, she was Brittany Snow.
Okay.
And then after 2, that's the only time Naminé was Brittany Snow. After that was Megan Jet Martin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we cover her next game, we'll talk about Brittany Snow.
Because like one had a really big star-studded cast, right? 2 also had a very big star-studded cast. I can't wait to talk
about them.
But then after 2, things got weird with the side games, and some people died, and it was just kind of, it was all over the place. So some people got switched out with, like, people who could do a similar voices, and it really was all over the place. But we'll have to talk about that in the video for 2. So
yes, for sure. But don't know if there are any other ones to highlight, other voice actors, but
we've talked about so much. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, Chain of Memories is a fun game. If you've never played it, find a way to play it on the Game Boy Advance. Try to play that original one, just so that when the time comes that you play Chain of Memories on literally any other console at this point, like, you kind of understand, like, the journey that game has taken. If I ever want to play Chain of Memories again, I might just play the Game Boy Advance one. Because I really don't think I've played that since Kingdom Hearts 2 came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's that poor thing has been sitting in a case for so long now. So long.
Man. I don't have mine anymore, so I cannot go back to it.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So, yeah. But now, do I have the PS2 version? Yes. Did I ever play it? No. But I did play it on my
crazy.
PS5 finally, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember, like, the 2 version coming out. And, man, I camped out at Walmart for, like, 4 days to buy that stupid game because my Walmart, like, wasn't, like, putting it out after it came out. They were like, oh, we have it. Check back later. And they wouldn't, like, put it on the damn shelf. But I got there. We got it. Also, they did not charge, like, the full price of the game, which is great considering that in Japan, it was actually free because you got it with Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. When they re-released Kingdom Hearts 2 as the Final Mix version, Chain of Memories came with that game. And they, like, communicate together. Like, if you played 2, if you have, like, save data for Final Mix 2, it unlocks better rewards in Chain of Memories, if you didn't know that.
No, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. I was like, I do remember when I got the PS2 version of Chain of Memories, it came with postcards, which I still have to this day.
Yeah, me too. Well, do I still have them? I don't know. But Kingdom Hearts, every time they release a game, this was Square as a whole. I think they just loved giving us those really fancy postcards. I have a bunch of them framed. I got this neat, like, multi-frame, frame, and put, like, all of them in there. Like, from, I think it was when, like, the 1.5, 2.5 collection came out. So they had, like, one postcard, like, per game. So there was, like, 7 or 8 postcards or something. We framed those. We have those hanging in the living room because they're so pretty.
Yeah. I've gotten posters with a couple of the other games, but that was the only one I have the postcards from. I'll have to dig them out and maybe post a picture for our listeners.
Yay!
Yes. Oh, man.
Well, do we have anything else to say about Chain of Memories? Anything that we've missed?
I don't think so. I'm, like I said, it was a love-hate relationship with this game. I'm glad to be done with it, and I'm very excited to be working on the next game.
Yes, so for our next game, we will move ahead to Kingdom Hearts 2. And for you planners out there, that will be the beginning of July. We'll revisit Kingdom Hearts this summer.
Yes.
And then we'll see where we go after that. After that is all up in the air because there's a million things that happen after Kingdom Hearts 2. So
exactly.
We shall see.
Yes.
We shall see. But we're not trying to rush. This will take a while for us to get through so we can also enjoy other things that are not Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. So
yes, I'm glad to be free of that chain on my memory. I'm done.
All right, we'll see you soon, folks. And that's it for another episode of Podcast Demastered.
If you enjoyed hanging out with us today, don't forget to follow and subscribe, leave us a review, and tell a friend.
If you have an episode idea, send us an email at demasteredpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Facebook @PodDemastered.
Thanks for listening, and tune in for the next time we demaster our favorite things on Podcast Demastered.